seated. Thank you to the Wind Ensemble and our conductor, Professor Matt Gregg. I noticed that there's an error in the bulletin, so I wanted you all to know that this is our Assistant Professor Matt Gregg. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a very special event, your graduation from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. I'm Dr. Joanne Wilson, Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. On behalf of everyone here, I welcome you to today's ceremony. Would you please stand and remove your hats for the singing of the National Anthem, which will be led today by Ben Warren.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Graduates, today you become part of another special family, that being the UW-Platteville alumni. This is the 203rd Commencement ceremony at UW-Platteville, where more than 57,000 graduates have earned their diplomas. And congratulations to all of our candidates here today. Throughout the day, we will salute graduates of the College of Liberal Arts and Education. This morning, we saluted those graduates from the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture, the College of Engineering and Mathematics and Science, and the School of Graduate Studies. In all, we have 561 undergraduate and 120 graduate candidates in the three ceremonies today. As for today's ceremony, we will hear words of encouragement and congratulations from our student speaker, the principal speaker, and our chancellor. We will then recognize some special people and finally present the candidates for graduation. Each commencement, a student speaker is chosen to represent the graduating seniors. This year's speaker is Isabel Zahn. Isabel is from Whitewater, Wisconsin, and is graduating with a degree in criminal justice, a minor in psychology, and a certificate in social work. Following graduation, she's planning to attend graduate school and pursue a master's degree in social work. Isabel is a member of the UW-Platteville Chancellor Scholars, the Alpha Phi Sigma Criminal Justice Honor Society, Pre-Law Society, and president of the Platteville Community Restorative Justice Student Group. Isabel has worked at Child Protective Services as the initial assessment intern in Rock County, Wisconsin. She observed and participated in interviewing clients, recorded case notes, conducted supervised visitations, and created a county-wide resource directory. Along with her internship, Isabel has volunteered for several area organizations, including being a liaison for registration and conference logistics for the local Restorative Justice Conference, a volunteer in the Big Buddies program at Westview Elementary School here in Platteville, and facilitator of the Restorative Justice Gardening Program at Prairie du Chien Correctional. Please welcome Isabel Zahn.
Thank you, Provost Wilson, for the introduction. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, faculty, friends, family, and of course, our guests of honor, the graduating class of 2019. I am honored to be your commencement speaker. Attending UW-Platteville and being a part of the Criminal Justice Department has been an honor for me. I am proud to be a second-generation pioneer following in my father's footsteps. My time on campus has prepared me in many ways for my future. It has given me the tools for success, a push out of my comfort zone, and the realization that I can make a change. These three things are areas in which we all have made growth throughout our college education. I want to reflect on them with you. Ever since we were children, we were proposed the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? This question was often met with rather ambitious responses: an astronaut, a princess, a professional athlete, or the president. I would answer confidently, a lawyer. As we grew, the answers to this became more realistic and based off our passions. For me, I want to work in child advocacy. We developed these career goals because of the tools we have acquired. Throughout our entire educational careers and lives, we have been developing a toolbox along the way, each one unique. This toolbox contains the important experiences at our time at UW-Platteville. More specifically, it may contain things such as your beliefs, your knowledge, a cultural appreciation, critical thinking skills, time management and self-discipline, as well as self-sufficiency and self-development. These are just a few examples. Rather than abstract ideas, your toolbox may contain specific memories of hanging out with your friends, attending a campus speaker or sporting event, or something as simple as going and climbing the M. My favorite college memory was being able to attend the National Restorative Justice Conference in both Oakland, California and Denver, Colorado. All of these experiences are going to drive your future. They will be your tools when you apply for jobs, when you decide to raise a family, or if you are volunteering in your community. Never forget the tools you have gained and utilize them to their full potential. What you do with your toolbox is what matters. However, it is okay to not know what comes next, regardless of what your parents might think. There is an expectation that after college, you become a real adult. Until recently, I had my heart set on attending law school. However, my internship with Child Protective Services showed me my passion for working with families in a supportive setting, which has changed my plans. Whatever comes next, do not be afraid of failure. Stepping out of your comfort zone is a big part of that. Our society today gets stuck in the comfort. We don't like change, the unexpected, or the unknown. I can certainly attest to this. However, change is inevitable. There is no right way for the next stage of life. Some of us will get jobs, maybe your dream job, maybe not. Some of us, like me, might continue our education. Some of us might travel to see different parts of the world or experience other cultures. Whichever path you decide to go down, be sure to not settle in the comfort. Take chances. And as one of my favorite quotes by Babe Ruth says, never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. So what is this game? Well, that depends on the individual. No matter what game you decide to play, whether you will be affecting the systems of society, whether it be in schools and education, the correction system, large corporations, individual industries, or communities. Entering the workforce and having a society that functions on systems, we must find our role in that system and help fix its flaws and change it for the future. Each system has areas that need growth and development. I plan to grow and develop the areas of social systems through restorative justice practices. We all can make changes if we put in the work. Change does not have to be on a large scale. Change can be small, sometimes unnoticed. However you decide to make your change within a system, make sure to leave your mark. Our graduating class is the future for all the different systems that our society functions off of. The future is ours, and it starts today. I challenge you to use your toolbox, take a chance, and make a change. Congratulations, class of 2019. Thank you.
Thank you, Isabel. Today's principal speaker is Michael Rafferty. He earned a Bachelor of Science in Speech and Psychology in 1968 and a Master of Science degree in Counselor Education in 1972 from UW-Platteville. He received his Certificate of Advanced Graduate Study from the University of Massachusetts in Educational Administration in 1976. He retired in 2013 after 45 years as an educator. Michael held educational positions in Wisconsin, Massachusetts, and Connecticut school districts. His positions throughout this career included teaching, school counselor, guidance director, building administrator, middle school advocate, and conference speaker. He also taught undergraduate, graduate, and postgraduate education classes. During his career, Michael was recognized with the Milken National Educator Award in 1999 and the Connecticut Middle School Principal of the Year in 2000. He also received the UW-Platteville Distinguished Alumni Award in 2000. Since retiring, Michael has completed more than 10 interim administration positions from pre-kindergarten to 12th grade, and he is an adjunct instructor at Mitchell College in New London, Connecticut. He volunteers on the Old Saybrook Education Foundation and Old Saybrook Youth and Family Services Commission. He also volunteers with the Refugees Resettlement Committee, working with children in their educational development and the school contact. Please welcome Michael Rafferty.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody's reaching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. Chancellor Shields, Provost Wilson, Dean Gormley, Dean Wilson, Commencement Marshal Broussard, other dignitaries, invited guests, professors, parents, grandparents, siblings, and extended families and friends. Most importantly, our soon-to-be undergraduate and graduate school graduates. What a great afternoon for you as you are graduating from UWP. At 7 a.m. on Monday morning, the real world is yours. Finally. Truly, this is your day, and I'm humble to congratulate you with all the people who are here to celebrate with you. I begin my address to you today with one of my favorite songs popularized by Whitney Houston. This song is not just for educators. It is for all adults to help all children of the world to feel safe, secure, challenged, and most importantly, loved. The primary teacher for every child is his or her parent. We in our society have an obligation to help all children grow up to be well-adjusted, productive, and happy citizens. My address this afternoon will be fairly brief. Yay, yay, yay. I know you want to end this quickly and head with your parents to the annex, the public house, or 2nd Street. But I have a few memories and a few history lessons I want to share with all of you, so bear with me. First and foremost, I've heard great things about all of you. I retired on June 30th, 2013, at the end of 45 years as a public school educator. Never was there a day that I didn't love. Never planning to continue to be part of education after I retired, but I'm currently involved in my 12th interim principalship and still teaching at the collegiate level. And I plan to continue, not for the money, but for the love and respect I have for children, professional educators, and education for all children. Married almost 52 years to my high school sweetheart, 5 kids, currently 15 grandkids, and we just heard the other day number 16 is coming, and professional educator into my 52nd year. As a person and as an educator, I would never reach the happiness and goals in my life if it was not for UWP. I graduated from Lexington High School, Massachusetts on June 24th, 1964. I arrived at Wisconsin State College and Institute of Technology on August 23rd, 1964. I had never been to Wisconsin until I arrived. Being just 17, I knew I needed to grow up and toughen up. Meeting wonderful people as my professors, my new friends, my fraternity brothers, knowing that I made the right choice. Wisconsin changed my life. Midwest people, without question, are the kindest, most down-to-earth people in America. Thank you. You are the best. When I came to Wisconsin State College and Institute of Technology, it changed its name to Wisconsin State University-Platteville. Soon thereafter became the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. I was president of the class of 1968 and was involved in many clubs and fraternity and programs. We were here a year ago this past October for my 50th class reunion at homecoming. The campus continues to grow and it looks terrific. Today is welcome home. My wife and I started our married life here in Platteville, me teaching at Darlington High School, then here at the university, then back to Darlington, my wife being a nurse at Platteville Hospital. We were both head residents in dorms. I was first at Morrow Hall when I completed my master's degree, and then we moved over to Dobson Hall where she worked on her master's. My first teaching year, I made $6,000. My take-home monthly pay was $316.24. We had rent of $116, a $100 car loan, and we lived on $100. My wife made $1.85 an hour at Platteville Hospital as a BSRN. When we decided to return to our hometown of Lexington, Massachusetts, in January 1973, with our 2 oldest boys, we were making more than $10,000. Wow, we thought we were rich. Perspective is everything. On the East Coast, I worked in a brand new middle school as a school counselor, and I became an advocate for middle school education. And this is when federal laws changed for special ed services for children with disabilities and exceptionalities that were mandated. I completed my 3rd degree in administration from UMass, and I began administration in 1976. In 1990, after having already changed 2 junior high schools into middle schools, I had the opportunity to go to a brand new, being built middle school in Connecticut. UWP had ingrained in me so many invaluable lessons. Similar to most of your grandparents, we grew up in the 60s. President John F. Kennedy, a Boston Catholic and the youngest president ever, was killed on Friday, November 22nd, 1963, the day of our scheduled high school prom. It was the start of many terrible events in the history of America in our lives. Martin Luther King Jr. was shot and killed in April of my senior year. The day after I got home from graduation, Bobby Kennedy was running for president, was shot and killed in California. I had returned home as I was marrying my high school sweetheart that August, who had graduated from Boston College School of Nursing. It was times of happiness, such as the Beatles, but it was time of turmoil with Woodstock, flower children, marijuana, drugs, hippies, communes, the bombing of Wisconsin-Madison chemistry lab, the Vietnam War, where I lost several college and high school buddies. And those survivors, when they came home, many were emotionally and mentally wounded, many addicted to drugs. But what was really sad at the time, that when they came back, they were not welcomed the way they should have been, because it was the most controversial war of our times. It was our war, but it was not our war, but it became our war. It is where and when we really began the modern movements of today, we continue in America with unrest and conflict, and we are now seeing how it continues to affect our lives daily. Please remember 3 words: passion, perseverance, and kindness. As you begin your new lives on Monday, be thankful to your parents and grandparents as they have loved and supported you for years. Remember your professors at UWP. Believe in yourself and love what you do. You most likely will not have the job you want, or the position you want, or the money you want on Monday. You will have all of that as you show your passion, work ethic, and desire to be your best. It is okay to struggle financially, trust me, and to look for new opportunities. Always be honest in all things you do. Volunteer to help others and be involved in community activities that help others. Embrace all types of diversity. Be balanced with all things in your life. Your first priority should always be your nuclear family, so that you will always will and understand what happiness is. Try your best and you will be successful, but it's also okay to be second. Always be tech savvy. Outsmart your smartphone. Reach for the stars. President John F. Kennedy once stated, "Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. Your journey will be perseverance in life. Toughen up." Most kids in America have been entitled by their parents and do not know how to stand up to the real world. But I know that does not apply to any of you. Do you know the average age for a child to leave his or her home currently across the United States? 28. God love your parents. The rent should start on Monday morning, kids. But one characteristic that I cannot stress enough about passion in life and learning to preserve, but also to be kind. The one rule my wife and I had raising 5 kids was to be kind. Parenting is really very simple. This is the rule and stick to it. Kindness means love. When given the choice between being right or being kind, choose kind. The Honorable Thomas O'Neill, known as Tip, the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, who was from Massachusetts when we were young, had a very famous quote. "It is nice to be important, but it is more important to be nice." Generations before you and generation after you have the moral responsibilities to keep our society safe. Recently in the Hartford Courant, which is Connecticut's state newspaper, ran the cartoon called Mutts, popular for years beginning in 1994. It captures Mutts and Jules, 2 cats, talking about an endangered word list: empathy, compassion, kindness, sympathy, decency, sensitivity, integrity, altruism, affection, benevolence, heart, tenderness, love, humanity, charity, grace, courtesy, tolerance, mercy, intelligence, leniency, understanding, common sense, goodwill, patience, wisdom. We all need to be proactively doing something. Divisiveness eliminates our common morals and values. We cannot allow these values to end. I challenge you this afternoon, each of you, to be active in causes that mean something to you. Celebrate all forms of diversity. Simply celebrate life. Connection to each other and helping others in our multi-diverse society. Volunteering to help others and make sure there's no one isolated. Success and happiness will be based on being a good person and compassion, love. Helping others are paths to hope, peace, and optimism. Be yourself and always have a sense of humor. Always be accountable and take personal accountability for your responsibility. Today's commencement is the beginning of your real-world life. Your job potential will be based on your work ethic, your people skills, any internship, successful student teaching, leadership roles to date, and self-awareness. Remember, as you enter the real world on Monday morning, positive attitude and advocacy. Always advocate for yourself and what is morally correct. Stand up for yourself and always have a positive attitude toward others and your professional work. Nothing is ever perfect. Work hard to be committed and you will be successful. Always be a lifelong learner. Marion Wright Edelman, famous author and educator, stated, "Education is for improving the lives of others and for leaving your community and world better than you found it." I'd like to tell you a very short, true story. Years ago, there was a college professor who had his sociology class go into the Baltimore slums to get case histories of 200 young boys. They were asked to write an evaluation of each boy's future. In every case, the students wrote, "He hasn't got a chance." 25 years later, another sociology professor came across the earlier study. He had his students follow up on the project to see what had happened to these boys. With the exception of 20 boys who had moved away or died, the students learned that 176 of the remaining 180 had achieved more than ordinary success as lawyers, doctors, and businessmen. The professor was astounded and decided to pursue the matter further. Fortunately, all the men in the area were able to ask each one, "How do you account for your success?" In every case, the reply, "There was a teacher." That teacher was still alive, so he sought her out and asked the old but still alert lady what magic formula she had used to pull these boys out of the slums into successful achievement. The teacher's eyes sparkled and her lips broke into a gentle smile. "It's very, very simple. I loved those boys." Take heart of your success. If I am standing here, someday maybe you will be standing here. In just a few minutes, you will leave undergraduate or graduate collegiate life in Southwest Wisconsin. Please remember a quote from Nelson Mandela, former president of South Africa. "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." As I finish today, I would like to read to you our favorite family poem, Success, credited to Ralph Waldo Emerson. To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics, and to endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a child, a healthy child, a garden patched, or a redeemed social condition, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded. Whitney Houston's "The Greatest Love of All," which I started singing or speaking, refers to, you're lucky it wasn't singing, refers to a hero. There is a superhero in all of us. We just need the courage and compassion to put on those special capes. Congratulations, graduates. You can all be our heroes. Find those capes. Fly high and land with love, humor, kindness, and a true passion for life. Every day is a great day for pioneers. Go Pioneers!
I now have the pleasure of introducing Dr. Amanda Tucker. Would you please stand? Associate Professor of English. And Amanda chose not to be on the stage today, so she wouldn't necessarily be pointed out, but she's going to be pointed out anyways. So you have to stand. Amanda was recently named one of 3 recipients across the UW system of the 2019 Alliant Energy Undercover Excellence in Teaching Award. The $3,000 awards are funded by an endowment from the Alliant Energy Foundation, and they are intended to recognize teaching of outstanding quality that leads to substantial intellectual growth in students at UW system institutions within the company's service area. Dr. Tucker collaborated with 2 colleagues to integrate their courses and to develop a cumulative service learning component. She also supervises student research. She has done original research on general education literature courses and social intelligence. Some of her research was published in Profession, a journal published by the Modern Language Association last fall. During her spring 2019 sabbatical, she conducted further research on the topic. She has also been recognized as the College of Liberal Arts and Education Outstanding Teacher of the Year in 2014, and in 2017-18 she participated in the Wisconsin Teaching Fellows and Scholars Program. Please join me in congratulating, excuse me, I always get a little emotional, the 2019 Alliant Energy Award winner. Sorry. Well deserved, Amanda, thank you. Sorry. The Chancellor always comments that the 2 of us love commencement, and one of the reasons I love commencement was my father always insisted that we go through every commencement in our family, and he's been gone now about 10 or 12 years, but I always think of him on commencement day, and a special, and so once in a while I get a little emotional, so it's just why. So it'll happen again, I promise. I now ask that Dan Smith, President of the Alumni Association Board of Directors, come forward to present the alumni lifetime memberships.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. By your graduation here today, you are now part of a special group, UW-Platteville alumni. And you're not alone. I now ask all UW-Platteville alumni to stand and be recognized. I, along with the alumni here today, would like to officially welcome you, the class of 2019, as UW-Platteville alumni. Thank you. The UW-Platteville Alumni Association annually recognizes outstanding graduates with the Honorary Lifetime Pioneer Award by awarding them lifetime membership into the Alumni Association. The award is based on a variety of criteria, including campus activities and leadership, community involvement, professional development and employment, academic excellence, and the probability of future involvement in the Alumni Association. I ask the following graduate to stand and be recognized as a School of Graduate Studies Alumni Association Lifetime Membership recipient, Danya Musab. Congratulations, Danya.
Thank you, Dan. Dennis J. Shields has been the University of Wisconsin-Platteville Chancellor since 2010, and during that time, he has led the university to tremendous growth with more programs, facilities, and opportunities. He's also brought in the 2 new branch campuses, UW-Platteville Richland and UW-Platteville Baraboo, Sauk County. Please welcome Chancellor Dennis J. Shields to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. Good afternoon. Let's try that again. Good afternoon. Okay, you know, after lunch sometimes we get a little bleary-eyed. It is indeed a great day to be a pioneer, and it is a privilege to be here to honor the University of Wisconsin-Platteville graduating class of 2019. Congratulations. Thank you to friends, family, faculty, staff. Thank you for the work that you have done with and for these students. Thank you for the financial and emotional support that you offered these students while they were on their journey towards earning their diploma from this institution. Graduates, while one chapter of your journey is complete, the next chapter of your life begins. With it comes an opportunity to make a positive difference in your life, in the lives of others, and in the world. As the Chancellor of your alma mater, I'm going to take this moment to offer you some advice. As you leave this campus, continue your life's journey. You will learn as individuals who may truly never comprehend or be capable of appreciating the impact that our actions have on others. Sometimes things that seem relatively insignificant might affect our own lives and the lives of others profoundly. Part of our ability to, in fact, have a positive impact on the world starts with what might seem to be an obvious or relatively simple truth. Be kind, despite and perhaps especially when you feel that the world is cruel and unjust. Many of you probably don't know anything about my own personal biography or the path that I took in order to be standing at this podium today. My story began in what some might consider an unlikely place, the Christ Child Home, a Catholic orphanage in Des Moines, Iowa. Between the ages of 5 and 12, I went from the orphanage to one foster home and then to another foster home before finally ending up at a place called the YMCA Boys Home of Iowa. I was in 6th grade, and Jack Braby, my 6th grade teacher, had the difficult job of trying to teach a knuckleheaded kid that had wandered around a while how to become a better student. That was quite a burden, but for whatever reason, Jack took an interest in me. So later that year, it was a Friday evening, close to my birthday, near the end of my 6th grade year, and his wife, Lois, picked me up from the boys' home sort of unannounced. I didn't know what to expect when she pulled into the driveway of her own home and encouraged me to come inside. When I stepped through the door, I found that my classmates had all arrived there in advance to throw a surprise birthday party. It was the first time in my life that anyone had made a big deal out of my birthday. As I reflect on this experience and the meaning that it has had on my life, I know that this moment was significant for me. It was significant because it made me feel like I belonged. Now, while the Braby family may or may not remember taking the time to plan a surprise birthday party for a 12-year-old like me, or consider the profound way that they impacted my life, the lesson that I have come to now realize in relation to this story is that we are all, in small and large ways, influencing the lives of those around us. It is hard for me to imagine my future success as a student or professional without that feeling of belonging that Jack and my classmates helped me feel that day. Another example that I'll offer you comes from a name that many of you may not be familiar with, David Foster Wallace. He delivered a commencement speech that was later published under the title, "This is Water." In it, he argues that we should all work to break free from our default mode of experiencing life as the center of the universe, and essentially remember to appreciate those around us, to be kind to others even when the world seems especially cruel. The essay begins with a sort of parable. 2 young fish are swimming along, and an older, wiser fish happens upon them and asks, "Hey boys, how's the water?" After this interaction, the 2 younger fish continue along their way, and one turns to the other and says, "What the heck is water?" What Wallace means to point out with this example is that the most obvious, important realities are often the ones that are hardest to see and talk about. As you move from one chapter of your life towards the next, it is important to stop and reflect on all that you have experienced. Wallace asks us in his essay to do the hard work that accompanies true self-reflection and to break free from our default settings by remembering what our initial judgments may suggest to us isn't always the case. He asks us to remember that this is water and to consider that even when it seems like the world around us is filled with cruelty and injustice, or perhaps specifically because of that observation, it is important that we remember to practice kindness in our lives, in the lives of others, and in the world. I offer these examples because simple acts of kindness, I believe, can change the world. Today, I ask that you not only reflect on your success as a graduate of this university, but also on the many ways that others in your life helped you get here. Being the Jack Braby for someone starts with holding the door for others, for example. It starts with giving up your seat on the bus for someone who might need it more than you. Making these small daily choices is one way that you can practice kindness in your life, in the lives of others, and in the world. To reiterate, we may truly never know or be capable of appreciating the impact that our actions have on others. Sometimes, things that seem relatively insignificant to us might affect our lives or the lives of others profoundly. Today, I ask that you do the work every day to be more generous with your kindness. Today, I ask that you commit to living a life of service. And today, I ask that you work hard every day in order to break free from your default settings by choosing a life of kindness, self-reflection, and empathy. Ultimately, it is up to you to make today and every day a great day to be a pioneer. Congratulations, graduates of the class of 2019.
Thank you, Chancellor Shields. I'm always surprised how the speakers don't speak to one another, but there's always a thread when they all get up to speak, and today it certainly is about kindness, so something to remember. You may wonder what the different colored stoles and cards are around many of our graduates' necks. Our international students wear white flag stoles featuring the United States flag and the flags of their home countries. UW-Platteville students who have studied abroad wear stoles featuring the flags of the countries where they studied. Clubs, organizations, and honor societies have also bestowed different color stoles and pins on their graduates, representing additional extracurricular and high-impact practice learning. I'd like to now call special attention to those wearing gold honor cords. These gold cords are worn by students who have received academic honors, and you will find these students that they are designated in your program with asterisks. We're going to recognize the honors students now. First, the colleges recognize valedictorians, student with the highest grade point average, as well as outstanding accomplishments within the college. For the College of Liberal Arts and Education, we ask the 2019 valedictorian, Samantha Putney, to stand. Is Samantha here? There she is. Congratulations on a successful career. Will the individuals who are graduating magna cum laude please rise? These students have earned cumulative grade point averages above a 3.5. Congratulations to these students. And now, will the students earning the highest honors and graduating summa cum laude please stand? Remain standing. These students students have earned cumulative grade point averages between a 3.75 and a 4.0. Please join me in congratulating all of the graduates. You may be seated. The faculty members sitting here in the front couple of rows, you'll notice each has a different style of gown and accessory depending on his or her field and also level of education. For a PhD, the hood's large, colorful, and has a silk patch and a velvet patch. And the silk patch is usually the colors of the institution that provided the degree, and the velvet tells you what kind of degree that it is. The doctoral gown has a black velvet strip that extends down the front, as well as 3 black velvet stripes across the sleeves. For the master's degree, the hood is the same length as the doctor's hood, but does not fully expose the lining, and the velvet edge is not as wide. Faculty and staff wear the color of the institution that granted the highest degree that they've been awarded. So please join me in recognizing our faculty. Thank you, colleagues. And now, all of the individuals who are candidates for associate's and bachelor's degrees, please stand. You're all over on this side, I believe. Chancellor Shields, as Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs and as directed by the university faculty, I certify that the individuals standing before you are candidates for the Associate of Arts and Science, the Bachelor of Arts, the Bachelor of Fine Arts, and the Bachelor of Science. And upon completion of the prescribed curricula, including their finals next week, they will be entitled to receive their degrees from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. I therefore recommend that these candidates be granted the appropriate diplomas for the curricula completed.
Upon this certification by the Provost and Vice Chancellor, and with the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin System, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree that you have earned, together with all the rights and privileges attending thereto.
Now, undergraduates, please take your tassel and move it from the right to the left on your mortarboard. So you are now a UW-Platteville graduate. Congratulations. Please be seated. We know that this is an exciting time, and I ask that everyone show respect for the graduates and for those seated near you. All here are anxious to hear the name of their own graduates, so please refrain from excessive celebration, but we certainly don't want to not celebrate, so please find a medium there. Registrar David Kiekefer is going to read the names of the candidates, and I ask now that Dr. Melissa Gormley, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Education, come forward.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. Congratulations, graduates, and thank you to our faculty, family, and friends who are here to celebrate and support. Chancellor Shields and Dr. Wilson, as Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Education, I present to you the candidates for the degrees of Associate of Arts and Sciences, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Science. Candidates, please begin coming forward.
Isabel Constance Zahn. Morgan K. Abraham. Scott T. Arneson. McKinley Page Bakich. Cassandra L. Bant. Reynaldo A. Barcenas. Chelsea Elizabeth Behrens. Mercedes R. Boardman. Joshua J. Bouchon. Madeline Emily Bovary. Allie A. Brennan. Nicholas Dane Broadhurst. Tyler Scott Brookins. Allison K. Carson. Taylor Marie Cherick. Madison K. Clemens. Vanessa R. Coffey. Mitchell Packer Dennert. Jalen Marie Dierks. Melissa Jean Flanagan. Madison Marie Fons. Levi M. Freisinger. Justine E. Fuller. Brady L. Gallagher. Marichelle Glover. Andrew W. Gott. Elissa Rose Granger. Connor Green. Anthony R. Greer. Kalara L. Groom. Robert James Hackett. Cassandra Lee Hamer. Sydney M. Harris. Ashton S. Held. Hillary M. Hoffman. Ariel J. Holton. Kaylee Beth Marie Jandro. Brandon Michael Jones. Kiana M. Kalmus. Claire M. Keast. Madeline E. Kingsley. Alexa M. Noble. Calvin J. Krofchek. Macy J. Cryer. Garrison Russell Ledbury. Courtney E. Lenzendorf. Katria H. Lessman. Benjamin P. Linton. Rachel K. Martin. Brianna Isabel Martinez. Rebecca C. Mathias. Miles Mayer. Janelli Medina. Madeline E. Meeker. Anthony J. Metello. Jensen Ryan Melville. Travis John Mikolajczyk. Gatlin Lee Molnar. Jacob Daniel Murphy. Tristan J. Newman. Michaela Patrice Partlow. Samantha L. Purse. Jacqueline M. Pulvermacher. Samantha Putney. John W. Rebhorn. Elizabeth May Rice. Kaylee Jo Reps. Callie M. Riker. Tristan W. Robbins. Maricela Salgado. Abby Christine Savoy. Devin Janelle Scheid. Sarah Rose Schenk. Aaron D. Schubert. Alyssa A. Sickler. Lauren J. Simonson. Jennifer Eileen Snart. Carissa A. Spiller. Clay A. Spooner. Haley C. Stagger. Mackenzie K. Strutt. Danielle Rose Till. Alexia C. Ulrich. Mariana E. Upchurch. Thomas J. Wagner. Rose Carmen Watterson. Haley Johanna Weisberg. Alyssa Ann Wicca. Alexis M. Wood.
On behalf of the College of Liberal Arts and Education and the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, congratulations. Please be seated. I now ask Dr. Craig Wilson, Dean of the Division of Professional Studies, to please come forward.
Congratulations to our undergraduates. And now, will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Science and Master of Science in Education please stand? Chancellor Shields, as Dean of the Division of Professional Studies, I present to you the candidates for the degrees of Master of Science and Master of Science in Education.
Upon this certification by the Dean of the Division of Professional Studies and with the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin System, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree that you have earned together with all the rights and privileges thereto.
And now, master's degree candidates, Please begin coming forward to receive your hoods.
Leslie Ann Albrecht. Amy Melissa Alexander. Bisher Alrawi. Alicia K. Bradwin. Alyssa Ann Katani. Michelle Ava Sislevich. Jennifer A. Cole. Ashley Deaver. Katie J. Demro. David John Fisher. Joshua Gabriel. Jeremy John Grizek. Karam Abderrat. Emily A. Gray. Connie Haig Daigle. Corey Allen Hansen. Paul James Kardatsky. Beth A. Kundal Vogel. Richard Moritz. Danya Jamil Musab. Jennifer Nall. Alan Gaylor Tum 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 Tum. Karen K. O'Brien. Olabambibe Claiborne Olapo. Gary James Palaja. Jeff Rothmeyer. Elizabeth Sandoval Carrillo. Emmanuel Ajay Safo. Joanne Marie Schmidt. Kyle Severson. Logan Adam Snyder. Amanda Stengel. Thomas Coughlin Taylor. Tedro Salomon Weldup. Lisa A. Wilson. Michelle Wright.
On behalf of the Division of Professional Studies, congratulations to our graduate students. Please be seated.
So again, congratulations to all of our undergraduate and graduate students. Putting together this ceremony takes considerable work, much of it behind the scenes. I would like to acknowledge the following folks who have worked so hard to make this day special for all of you. The Commencement Committee, led by Ian Drager. The Commencement Marshal, Dr. Rosalind Broussard, from the Department of Social Sciences, who will be retiring at the end of this month. Congratulations, Rosalind. Registrar David Kiekafer, who read our names. Student ambassadors who have served as ushers, the Symphonic Wind Ensemble, who provided our music under the leadership of Professor Matt Gregg, Media Technology Services, and the Division of University Relations. For all those that we just mentioned who helped with the production of today's ceremony, please rise and be recognized. Thank you. Sitting in front of the stage is a group who's taught and advised and so much more our graduating class. Will the UW-Platteville faculty and staff stand and be honored today? Thank you. And none of this would have been possible without this last group who has helped our graduates through their collegiate careers and indeed their entire lives. Would the families and friends of the December 2019 graduates please stand and be recognized? I now ask that you turn to page 40 of your commencement program for the alma mater, which will be led again by Ben Warren. The commencement ceremonies have been recorded and they will be available for on-demand viewing on the campus website. Please remain seated until the faculty has left the gymnasium, and once the faculty have reached the lobby, we will dismiss the graduates so they can join their families and friends. The flags representing all of the countries from which our students hail are displayed out in the main lobby for pictures, as are the college banners. This concludes our ceremony, and once again, congratulations to the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, graduating class of December 2019. Matt, you can start the recessional. Thank you.